That way. Hopefully. Dang it, I didn't turn mine on to get that. But I can share your video on mine.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you do it because you do better videos than I do.
Okay.
I didn't get that. I wish I would have got it. But I had to have my hands up.
Mm-hmm.
I get this out of selfie. Put it in selfie.
Okay.
How do I get it out of selfie?
Right up here. No, you put quick video, and then you see where it says this right here.
Oh, see, I can't do it because I can't take the volume to come up. I get my hand in the picture. I have to have my volume up before I record.
That's what I like to see.
I was like typing it out right now.
Good morning, everyone. Evelyn, this morning's meeting on human services. Thank you all for being here. It's a full house. Good to see you all this morning. So the first bill we're going to hear is Senate Bill 611, and you will give us an overview of that.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair and members of the committee. Senate Bill 611 establishes the Food for All Oregonians program in the Oregon Department of Human Services to provide nutrition assistance benefits to individuals who would be eligible for the federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, but for their immigration status. The measure requires ODHS to convene an advisory group to recommend metrics that improve services for benefit program applicants and recipients.
Okay, we have Senator Weber is here. So Senator Weber, come on up.
Good morning. Vice Chair Linthicum, members of the committee. For the record, my name is Suzanne Weber, and it is my honor to serve the people of District 16 as their state senator. For 30 years, I worked in public education, directly educating elementary students. I spent 22 years in first grade. One thing I could always count on is that if a student came to school hungry, no matter how hard I tried, no matter how hard the student tried, they would never be able to reach their potential. More times than should have been, and before school breakfasts were commonly available, I fed students who knew who I knew were hungry myself. We had something called the breakfast club, and they'd show up at my house, which was about a half a block from the school, and we would have breakfast, and then we'd all go to school together. A few dollars of food in the morning made all the difference in their education all day long. I understand the controversy around this legislation, particularly around the legal status of recipients. I acknowledge those concerns and remain open to working with everyone of all political stripes who are willing to work to respect our laws, but also ensure that youth and the elderly do not find themselves going hungry. This doesn't have to be the last step. It can be the first step. With that said, I must also acknowledge that this legislation is bipartisan, bicameral, from legislators in urban, suburban, and rural Oregon. While none of us got all that we want, the legislation addresses a real concern that affects rural and urban Oregon. The reality is that hunger affects more than just those who are hungry. As bad as that is, hungry children and seniors are less healthy. Hungry children end up absent more often and put more pressure on our education system. The hunger that seniors experience exacerbates other health issues, putting pressure on Medicaid and other health programs. Spending money to address hunger now will save us money on these issues later. Colleagues, we have an opportunity to take a step forward in addressing an issue that touches so many other issues that we deal with. I encourage you to pass Senate Bill 611 as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
However, you can remain on the dais if you want. We have Senator Campos and Representative Ruiz.
Good morning. Vice Chair Linthicum, members of the committee, apologies if I sound long-winded. My committee still does not have quorum. For the record, my name is Winsway Campos, and I proudly represent Senate District 18, which encompasses parts of Beaverton, Hillsborough, and Aloha. I'm here today to speak in support of Senate Bill 611, a bill that would establish the Food for All Oregonians program. Food is not a privilege. It is a basic human right. It is the foundation of health, dignity, and opportunity. And yet, in Oregon, over 62,000 individuals, our neighbors, co-workers, and community members, are excluded from federal food assistance programs solely because of their immigration status. This isn't just a gap in services, it's a deep systemic shortcoming that leaves tens of thousands of families vulnerable to food insecurity, despite their vital contributions to our state. Our immigrant communities, including including those working in agriculture and food processing, have long been the backbone of Oregon's economy. During the COVID-19 pandemic, many of those in our immigrant communities were deemed essential workers, showing up every day under difficult and often dangerous conditions to ensure food and services reach Oregon families. Many immigrants pay into our tax system, contribute to our communities, and yet they remain excluded from SNAP, one of our most basic safety net programs. Let me be clear, hunger is not an abstract issue. It is the stress a parent feels when their pantry is empty and payday is still days away. It is a student who can't concentrate in school because they didn't have breakfast. It is a senior who must choose between paying for medication or putting food on the table. And the numbers, which you will hear throughout testimony, back this up. Organizations like the Oregon Food Bank and community-based partners work tirelessly to fill these gaps. They cannot do it alone. Emergency food systems were never meant to be a substitute for inclusive solutions. That's where Senate Bill 611 comes in. This is a common sense policy rooted in equity. It aligns our food security goals with our state's values of inclusion and fairness. It ensures that we don't ask essential workers to feed Oregon while being denied the ability to feed their own families. Food assistance isn't just about meals, it is an investment in public health, in educational success, and community stability. When people have access to nutritious food, they are healthier, better able to work and learn, and more resilient in the face of economic hardship. So today, I urge you to see the people behind the numbers you will hear. The farm worker who packs your produce, the child sitting in your local classroom, the elder who helped to build your neighborhood. Food for all must mean all Oregonians, regardless of immigration status. Today, with Senate Bill 611, we have a chance to support our community members across the state. Thank you so much for your time and your dedication to the state of Oregon. I urge your support of this bill.
Good morning, buenos dias, Maestro Olympica, members of the Senate Committee on Human Services. For the record, my name is Jake Luis, the representative to House District 50, which covers Gresham and Southeast Portland. Let me smile real quick for the picture. I'm here in support of Senate Bill 611, which establishes the Food for All Oregonians program to ensure equitable access to nutrition assistance for Oregonians who are currently excluded from the SNAP program, also known as Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, due to their immigration status. In Oregon, food insecurity continues to disproportionately impact immigrant communities, many of whom work in industries essential to the state's economy. These Oregonians contribute to our communities, our workforce, and our local economies, yet they're unjustly barred from receiving federal food assistance. Senate Bill 611 seeks to rectify this inequity by establishing a state-funded nutrition assistance program for individuals under age 26 and those 55 and older who meet all SNAP eligibility criteria, except for their immigration status. This policy is a direct investment in the health and well-being of our communities. Food insecurity has profound effects on physical and mental health, child development, and overall economic stability. By leveraging Oregon's existing SNAP infrastructure, Senate Bill 611 ensures that eligible individuals receive benefits seamlessly, eliminating unnecessary administrative barriers while maximizing efficiency and impact. Additionally, Senate Bill 611 establishes an advisory group composed of members from immigrant and refugee communities to provide oversight and guidance on the program's implementation. This ensures that the policy remains responsive to community needs and aligns with Oregon's commitment to equity and inclusion. As a son and grandson of immigrants, I understand firsthand the struggles families face when they're excluded from essential services. No one in Oregon should have to choose between paying rent or putting food on the table. Senate Bill 611 is a critical step toward ensuring that all Oregonians, regardless of their immigration status, have the resources they need to thrive. Colleagues, urge your support for Senate Bill 611 and all the tough questions and our problems, and whoever will answer them. Not to head somewhere else. Thank you very much.
Can I ask you a quick question, maybe Senator Weber? If you need to run, Senator Campos, feel free, because it's just kind of a school question. Thank you. I was just curious, these folks, these students that you mentioned in your testimony, they would be covered currently by the school lunch program? Okay, so they're not excluded from that when they're attending school. Does that cover breakfast also or not? I don't know. Okay, so that's good news. That's good. Yeah. So the children are getting
Breakfast
fed.
was really important because,
It is.
you know, they would come and they hadn't probably eaten since lunchtime the day before. So they needed that.
Yeah, I was just curious if they were getting covered, you know, at least in the schools.
And you wouldn't believe how many children came and wanted Cheerios with Coca-Cola on it. Because that's what they were used to having. So,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, we have our first panel, Andrea Williams, Eddie Melendrez, Matt Newell-Ching. Come on in.
Am I on a timer? I just want to make sure I'm respecting the amount of time.
Yes.
Great. Okay, excellent. Vice Chair Lithicum, members of the committee, good morning. I'm Andrea Williams. I'm the president of Oregon Food Bank. Our mission is to eliminate hunger and improve causes because no one should be hungry. I'm testifying in strong support of Senate Bill 611 because everyone in Oregon should have access to food no matter where we were born. And I'm joined here by my colleague Matt Newell-Ching as well, who can help answer questions about the bill. We are here today because immigrants make Oregon stronger. Oregonians who are immigrants contribute $5.6 billion annually in taxes, yet thousands are excluded from critical food assistance, or SNAP, our nation's most effective anti-hunger program. Senate Bill 611 addresses these exclusions. 5 states have extended SNAP-like benefits to immigrants. Oregon is the only state on the West Coast that hasn't yet. We're here to change that. Senate Bill 611 will make food assistance available to youth and elder Oregonians who are currently excluded from SNAP due to immigration status. Food for All Oregonians would be a state-funded and managed program and will mirror SNAP. SNAP provides an average of $2 per meal. Maybe that would fill in for dinner when the kids are missing in a dinner. It's not a lot, but the benefits are extraordinary. 50 years of research consistently shows that for kids and seniors, being on SNAP leads to better outcomes in homelessness prevention, education, and early learning, job retention, and health. A thorough review of this research can be found on this. Just wanted to give you a few highlights. For kids, SNAP can improve their chances of graduating from high school by 18%. For seniors who participate in SNAP, they're more likely to be able to afford their medication and are 46% less likely to be hospitalized than non-participating low-income seniors. Senate Bill 611 will also support local economies. Every SNAP dollar spent in Oregon generates $1.50 to $2 in economic activity. In closing, I just want to recognize this amazing coalition. We have over 375 supportive testimonies, 22 sponsors, and I would like to invite all those that are supporting to stand. I know not everyone will have time to testify, so I just want to show you the representation here in the room. Thank you so much. I see my time is up, and we encourage your support of Senate Bill 611.
We stand when they
Matt Newell-Ching with Oregon Food Bank. I'm here solely as Andrea's sidekick to answer questions, if you have any.
And so this being separate from what the food bank's role is now, how do you see the food bank being partners in this?
Sure, yeah, so part of this bill would help support organizations to navigate this system. Oregon Food Bank would be one of those that would educate the community about how to sign up for this state level program. But honestly, SNAP would help Oregon Food Bank and the food banks we support because the need is so high. We don't have enough food to distribute for the amount of food that, for the amount of need that there is. And so programs like SNAP, if we could extend it to a larger set of people, it would help reduce the reliance on our food bank system. So it would be complementary to the work that we do.
Okay, so we have Eddie Melendrez via Teams. You folks are welcome to stay on the panel or Eddie?
Yes. My name is Eddie Melendrez. Thank you, Chair Lithicum and the Senate Committee on Human Services. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a community organizer from Ontario, Oregon, and just really grateful to be here with you all to pass and support Senate Bill 611, Food for All Oregonians, which will expand food stamps from ages 0 to 25 and 55 plus. But just to tell you a little bit more about living here in rural Eastern Oregon, Ontario, part of the work I'm doing as an organizer, visiting some of the pantry sites in rural Adrian, Oregon, right on the Oregon-Idaho border. There was some of the leaders that were there that were in community visiting a pantry site, and I got a chance to talk to this Spanish-speaking woman and asked her, great, thanking her for being there, but then asked her about the need. And they had mentioned that in between the fields and the sheds, there was a break in work, and that they didn't have enough food to put on the table. And I thank you for being there, but in that moment, I thought how sad it was that the very people, the backbone of this community, all this state and this nation don't have enough food for themselves. So it was a really testament for me to do this work, and I knew I was meant to be doing the organizing work for the Oregon Food Bank, and urge you all to support Senate Bill 611. But along the way, organizing, gathering folks to tell stories, meeting town halls, lobby days. We just attended a lobby day on the 18th. Grateful to and thanks to all the elected leaders that took time to meet with us. But every time I would attend a town hall in rural Eastern Oregon, when we would have our local elected leaders share out, what I was seeing was that their vision, we weren't included. The Latino community members, the undocumented immigrants, we weren't included in that vision. So I'm here to support and voice concern for the Latino community, for the undocumented immigrants that we have here in Eastern Oregon and across the state. Oregon has a history of excluding the most essential workers, from the braceros to the tejanos to the immigrants that we continue to not support. So I'm here to urge you all to support Senate Bill 611 and for Food for All Oregonians. And I appreciate your time, and thank you very much. And if you have any questions, I'll try to answer those. But just thank you for the time, and I appreciate you representing Eastern Oregon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay, we have any questions before we move on? Thank you, Eddie. We have the second panel, Maria Delgado. Forgive me if I messed his name up. Darwish Sakio. And let's see, the other two are via team, so panel in place.
Buenos días, miembros del comité. Mi nombre es María Delgado, una mujer migrante, mamá soltera de 2 hijos, líder y activista en Oregon. Vivo en Oregon hace 18 años.
Good morning, committee. My name is Maria Delgado, a migrant woman, single mother of 2, leader and activist in Oregon. I have lived in Oregon for 18 years.
Sabemos que tenemos derechos como ciudadanos, sin embargo, debido por las barreras de acceso, mucha comunidad no califica y no puede aplicar por el SNAP.
We know that we have rights as citizens, however, due to barriers to access, many in the community do not qualify and simply cannot apply for SNAP.
Por el simple hecho de su lugar de nacimiento. Yo apoyo a la comunidad ofreciendo información y recursos que sepan sus derechos, aprendiendo a navegar sistemas, pero desafortunadamente no califican por el SNAP.
Simply because of their place of birth. I support the community by offering information and resources, knowing their rights, learning how to navigate systems, but unfortunately they don't qualify for SNAP benefits.
Es un programa que tenemos que extender a los demás, porque todos en Oregon merecen comida saludable y comida culturalmente específica. Comida para todos es importante y tenemos que poner nuestros valores en acción.
It's a program that we need to extend to others because everyone in Oregon deserves healthy food and culturally specific food. Food for all is important, and we need to put our values into action.
Les pido que apoyen la SB 611, Comida para Todos, para reducir las necesidades en nuestras comunidades.
I'm asking you to support SB 611, Food for All, to reduce these needs in our communities.
Mi comunidad tiene miedo y he escuchado que mi comunidad, basado a toda esta opresión, he escuchado de parte de ellos autodeportarse.
My community is fearful, and I've heard because of all of this oppression, I've heard from them that they want to deport themselves.
No creo justo que teniendo tantos años ellos aquí luchando y trabajando día a día, tengan ellos que retirarse de este país.
I don't think it's fair for having been here for so many years, struggling and working every day, that they have to take the option of removing themselves.
Les pido su apoyo para la comunidad y las diferentes culturas. Gracias.
I ask for your support for the community and for the different members. Thank you.
Good morning, Vice Chair and member of the committee. For the record, my name is David Zakil. I'm one of the founder and director of Community Advancement at the Afghan Support Network, a local nonprofit that helps immigrant refugees, and particularly the Afghan community in the state of Oregon. I'm also a former culture advisor and interpreter for the U.S. Army in Afghanistan. And today, I'm here in support of SB 611, a bill that will provide nutritious food, access to nutritious food to the families, to the youth and the seniors that are currently excluded just because of their immigration status. I tried to prepare this testimony this morning at 7:30 when I was walking here, but I'm going to speak from my heart what I experience on a daily basis, what I interact with the immigrants and refugees, particularly with the Afghan community that is struggling. Last year, in 2024, a dad walked into my office with tears and obviously very upset. He said, I want to talk to you private. I said, what's up? So we sit down. He said, I was in the store and trying to shop some supplies for my home, and I with my little son. And as I was walking through aisle to aisle, then my son was repeatedly asking me to purchase some food items that he liked. And he said, I could not afford it. And he felt humiliated and embarrassed. He said, I don't know what to do. And I asked him, he said, why am I not able to be eligible for this SNAP benefit? And I said, I'm sorry, because of the policies that they are in the state. So today, I'm here to advocate on behalf of that family and the thousands of other Oregonians that they are currently excluded just because of immigration status. I think this is unfair. While the billionaires are spending billions of dollars sending people to Mars, and in the state of Oregon in 2025, we are excluding the youth and seniors. I want to mention how positive impact will have this on the economy and other but at the same time we're excluding them because of their immigration status. I think it is a bipartisan bill. It doesn't matter who you are. Let's just put yourself in the shoes of that dad that were crying on that day, or the thousands of others that we all are dads, we all have parents. So if you put yourself in their shoe and you just see through their lenses, I think we would definitely say this is something. I am not asking you to support this. I also ask your colleagues that they are on the floor, please encourage and support SB 611. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for this panel before they depart? Thank you very much for testifying. Here we have Dr. Timothy Herrera via Teams. Dr. Herrera.
Good morning, esteemed members of the committee. My name is Timothy Herrera and I live in Eugene. I'm here to advocate for Senate Bill 611, Food for All Oregonians, because I've seen firsthand the devastating impact of food insecurity in our communities. As a community leader and a University of Oregon faculty member, I know families, elderly, and students that are excluded from SNAP benefits and are struggling to put food on the table. And please do not use the flawed logic that having access to school meals is sufficient enough to stop child hunger, and that food for all is not needed. School meals are not enough. What about when a child goes home? During holidays, during the summer, when they stay home when they're sick, when a child has specific dietary needs due to chronic illnesses, when they graduate but are not able to work and don't have enough experience on their resume. And also my research with Oregon farm workers during the pandemic revealed a shocking truth. Over half relied on food banks, with Indigenous farm workers facing even higher rates at 67%. These are the people who feed us, yet when they go hungry, and they also face disproportionate health impacts. and many of the farm workers were older, in their 50s, and instead of thinking of retirement, they are working through health issues just to provide for their families. Food for All isn't just about food, it's about dignity. It means children can focus in school, families can plan for the future, and the elderly can access the food they need for their health. We're all vulnerable to hardship, and a safety net that includes everyone will build stronger, more resilient communities. Senate Bill 611 is an investment in Oregon's future. It's a future where no one, regardless of where they were born, worries about their next meal. Your yes vote on SB 611 is an investment in our state's health, stability, and future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Guerrero. Appreciate your testimony. Next we have Yesenia via Teams. Yesenia, are you there?
Hello, thank you, Vice Chair Linthicum and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Yesenia Solorzano Madden. I live in Ashland, Oregon. It is an honor to be speaking to you today on behalf of Rogue Food Unites in strong support of Senate Bill 611, Food for All Oregonians, which would ensure that youth and elderly Oregonians, regardless of immigration status, have access to food. Rogue Food Unites was founded in 2020 in response to the devastating impact of the Labor Day fires on Jackson County residents. Every week, we offer high-quality meat, eggs, and organic produce to approximately 2,000 individuals around Jackson County at our no-cost, no-barrier farmers markets. We provide our community with both comfort and nutrition, helping mitigate the negative health outcomes associated with limited access to nutritious food. Support that is especially vital for people who are excluded from traditional food resources due to immigration status. We wish that we could pack a big bag of produce for everybody who needs it, but we know that we cannot meet our community's hunger needs alone. As such, our markets serve as a space for other community organizations to reach individuals who could be eligible for their resources. Making sure our patrons are connected with other resources like SNAP is critical to ensuring that they always have access to nutritious food. It ensures that when somebody shows up at the end of our market after a long day's work, we know that the small amount of food we're able to give them is not the only food they can get that week. When key statewide resources like SNAP are unavailable for so many of our neighbors who need them most, our communities suffer. I urge the committee to envision an Oregon where anyone who needs food can get it, and strongly urge you to vote in support of Senate Bill 611. Thank you for your time and your commitment to our wonderful Oregon communities.
Thank you. Okay, we'll have one more remote right now. Chad Kernett. Chad, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Chad Kernett. My senator is Sarah Jelser, and I urge you to vote no on SB 611, opening up American citizen tax dollars to people who are not Americans and have flouted the laws of our country and violated our sovereignty, making them by virtue and by federal statutes criminals. Please see U.S. Code Title 8, Section 1345. We as a society should not encourage bad behavior in the breaking of the laws, let alone reward it like we've already done with giving driver's licenses to illegal immigrants. It's bad enough that illegal immigrants broke our laws and criminally trespassing into our country and making taxpayers have to foot the bill for them already in a myriad of ways, such as the flooding of classrooms and bloated sizes, taking resources and focus time from teachers and American children, using our hospital emergency rooms for all their healthcare needs, and flooding critical health systems, making 4 to 8 hour wait times in the ER for American citizens. So why should we then go further in making their legal stays comfortable and beneficial by providing them with SNAP and Oregon Trail cards when that food and money should be going to starving American families and children? Oregon is already one of the top states in its generosity to non-citizens, handing out benefits, making us a very attractive nanny state for the country's illegal immigrant population. Oregon previously spent $29 million for free hotel rooms for non-citizens, attracting illegal immigrants from California, which helped overwhelm the program and made it run out of funding right after its creation. Oregon created a housing program offering $30,000 in home down payments for illegal immigrants purchasing homes through Governor Kodak's cash program. Illegal immigrants that are young and homeless are eligible for $1,000 monthly stipends, something that American homeless children don't even receive, and they receive school breakfasts and lunches. I say enough is enough, and no more pandering to lawbreakers and those who cheat their way to get what they want, already showing that it's nothing for them to break the laws of the country. If you're going to break the laws to get here, treating others who are waiting in line doing it the right way, then you should not expect a welcome mat and being able to be indigent and dependent on the citizens of that country. I've heard the proponents state time and again that illegal immigrants pay taxes, so why shouldn't they get access to all benefits meant for American citizens? While it is true they contribute roughly $77 million a year in taxes in Oregon, what they don't tell you is the financial burdens the illegal immigrant community places on the state's coffers is $1.8 billion a year. The burden to the state far outweighs their tax contributions. When our state is facing a loss of more than $2 billion in federal funding, it is grossly incompetent and fiscally irresponsible to consider spending large amounts of money on the illegal immigrant community while facing having to make cuts on programs designed for relief of American citizens. I urge you to please vote no on SB 611. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have three panels for three in person. We'll start with Cynthia Ramirez. Come on up to the dais. Elena Barreto and Amanda Orozco. Forgive me for mispronouncing names. Cynthia, Elena, Amanda. Is Amanda?
Organization, but she got double booked. I didn't hear if I still able to testify on her behalf.
Yes. Is it?
I also registered just in case.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Vice Chair Lindsay Cunningham of the committee. My name is Cynthia Ramirez and I'm a policy associate at Coon, Oregon's Farm Worker Union. On behalf of the Coon, we are in strong support of Senate Bill 611, Food for All Oregonians, which would ensure youth and elderly Oregonians, regardless of immigration status, have access to the food they need to keep them and their families healthy. At the Coon, we firmly believe that food is a human right. No one should have to go without basic nutrition regardless of where they were born. However, for far too long, our communities have been systematically excluded from vital food assistance programs due to immigration status, despite contributing billions to Oregon's economy. It is unacceptable in a state where farm workers are the backbone of our food system. So many are denied the basic right to food because of their immigration status. Farm workers in Oregon earn, on average, just $34,500 a year, a wage that falls far too short of meeting the exponential cost of living. Rent is rising, utility bills soaring, and the cost of food is no exception. The situation is even more dire when we consider that farm workers are often disproportionately affected by extreme weather conditions. They risk their health and safety working in harsh temperatures and dangerous conditions to ensure that our state's food supply is maintained. Yet despite their vital role in our food system, they are excluded from critical food assistance programs that would allow them to care for themselves and their families. The reality is clear. This is not only a bill about fairness, this bill is a response to a fundamental injustice. Farm workers deserve to have the same access to food as the people they feed. When our farm worker communities have access to the nutrition they need, their health improves, their families thrive, and our entire state benefits. We will all win when we support the health and well-being of those who give so much to this state. On behalf of the Coon and our members, we urge you to support Senate Bill 611, Food for All Oregonians, because no Oregonian should go hungry. Good morning, Vice Chair Lincoln and members of the committee. My name is Elena Barreto, and I'm a Senior Early Childhood Policy Advisor with the Children's Institute. Access to nutritious food is essential for early childhood development. Proactive investments in early childhood supports, including Senate Bill 611, can break cycles of poverty and ensure long-term stability for children and families across the state. When we prioritize children, we improve lives and reduce crisis-driven spending. Ensuring children are well-nourished during early childhood is one of the most impactful ways to build a strong foundation for their future. With 90% of a child's brain developing by age 5, this period is critical for cognitive, physical, and emotional growth. Studies show that even marginal food insecurity is linked to behavioral, academic, and emotional challenges from infancy to adolescence. It is also associated with costly health conditions, including stress, malnutrition, diabetes, and hypertension. Senate Bill 611 ensures fewer children in Oregon grow up hungry, making it a valuable investment in our state's future. Food for all is a smart investment, and it's the right thing to do. Every child has the right to thrive, and all families, regardless of background or income, need and deserve support in raising their children. We do not need a personal connection to a child to understand that the decisions we make now will have a lasting
solely responsible for creating and sustaining an environment that supports children and their families' safety and well-being. Food security is fundamental to creating safe and healthy communities where children can thrive. We urge you to support Food for All Oregonians to prioritize the well-being of our children. Thank you for your time and stand with all Oregon. Vice Chair, members of the committee, my name is Gloria Ochoa Sandoval, and I'm the Policy Director at United Oregon. We are a statewide organization that represents and is led by immigrants and refugees, people of color, rural, and low-income communities. We are here in strong support of Senate Bill 611. This bill ensures that Oregonians, regardless of immigration status, have access to food that they need to keep their families healthy. Food should not be a privilege, but a right available to everyone. Hunger can supersede education, work, good rest, and joy. Food scarcity is a silent killer and often one that folks have to choose, and it is really at the core of many issues, especially for youth and elders. This is why this bill has been scaled for these particular age groups. Oregon is a home to immigrants, many that pick our crops, build our homes, and contribute to our cultural and economic growth. Despite paying billions in taxes, immigrant Oregonians are twice as likely to experience hunger and poverty. Being from an immigrant family, I get it. I know that food on the table easily turns a house into a home. I know that everyone deserves to enjoy a belly full of whatever meal makes you feel full. For me, that's arroz, frijoles, and queso. We appreciate the support of food banks, pantries, school meals, and community dinners. At Unite, we believe that access to nutritious and cultural appropriate food is also a priority. We should have the right to choose what kind of food we put in our bellies. I also think it's important that we're able to have that food in our own homes. I understand funding is a concern, especially given the threats to SNAP from the federal government. I ask that we do not consider feeding immigrant Oregonians a separate task from feeding all Oregonians. We must protect the food of our state residents as a whole. We urge you to pass Senate Bill 611, Food for All Oregonians. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. So we're going to close the public hearing on SB 611. Thank you all for coming. Apologize. Appreciate your presence. We just don't have time for all the testimony, but we've heard some wonderful testimony and we appreciate that very much. So we're going to move on and we're going to open the public hearing on SB 989. Senator Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair and members of the committee. Senate Bill 989 permits a child's parent or guardian to